What's up, guys? It's me, Amy, back with another chat. Oh my gosh, guys, how the heck are ya? Let's do something different today. I'm gonna make something called a Watergate salad. I don't know if you've ever heard this. I don't know if you ever have had this. I have not. This is my first time making it. Let's see. And tomorrow is Easter, Resurrection Day. I know a lot of you are gonna have parties, get-togethers. Maybe you could consider making this super easy, delicious, sugary salad for your friends and family. So while we're doing this today too, I also want to chat with you guys a little bit. I want to talk about the time that the sugar daddy tried to approach me when I was at church. Like, are you kidding me? You guys, I'm at church. I am not trying to be bothered. I am not trying to date. I'm not trying to be distracted. I am literally there to follow my Lord, to get his word, period. I don't care if you're young and hot. I do not need distractions while I'm at church, okay? So guys, the ingredients, I'm gonna put them on the screen, but you're gonna wanna get pistachio instant gelatin mix, 20 ounces of pineapple, the diced one. Not sure how many mini marshmallows, so we got a whole bag. And then we also have to have whip. I got all these things this morning off of Amazon Fresh. I went over there and picked it up. And then to top it all off, maraschino cherries, yummy. Make sure you get the 3.4 ounce of your gelatin mix. And you're just gonna start by opening this up and pouring it in here. So I was attending this other church for a little bit, and I think this was around the beginning of November. This part of the video got deleted. Essentially, I'm at the church. This is my second time going there. This guy sits right next to me. You know, he starts chatting with me. I had my little journal sitting next to me, the one that I write my notes in. He's like, oh, that's a different looking phone case. That's pretty cool. I was like, oh, it's my journal, blah, 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 blah. And they started talking to me. And then throughout the church service, like I was sitting there like worshiping like this. And then the whole time I'm just doing, every time I open my eyes, I could see him out of the corner of my eyes, like just staring at me. After the church service ended, I was gonna go attend the newcomers lunch. So I had about 30 minutes that I was just kind of like taking my time, and he starts talking to me and works up conversation. Conversation was like just kind of really awkward. Like he was just sitting there like staring at me, smiling, and it would just be like awkward silences. And I'd be like, okay. But I didn't want to be rude because I thought this was probably just some awkward guy from church, you know, probably like some really nice guy. So I didn't want to be like rude or anything. He asked me, he's like, hey, can I take you out to lunch? I know a great spot. And I said to him, I was like, well, I'm going to head to the newcomer lunch. So if you want to join me there, that would be cool. Since he had only been going to the church for about 6 months. He seemed really reluctant, like bummed out that I wasn't going to join him at the restaurant, but he ended up coming with me up to the newcomer lunch anyway, after we had sat there and talked for about 10 minutes. We go upstairs to the meeting hall and we check in with the lady in the front, you know, give her our names. Now, back to the recipe, guys. Sorry, I don't know where this clip went. And the lady's like, oh, you and your wife? I was like, no, that is not my husband. You guys, like this guy is my dad's age. Why are you people assuming that that is my husband? I'm just so confused. So we go in there, and thankfully I see this girl that I had been talking to earlier in the day in one of the classes that I took. And I go up to her. I was like, oh my gosh, hey, how are you? And I sit right next to her, in between her and someone else, so the guy can't sit next to me. He sits across from me at the table, whatever, that's totally fine. And then they tell us we can get up, we can get our food. So we all get our food. And me and her go and sit down, and he's still up there getting her food. And then while he's up there, I tell her what's going on. I was like, dude, this guy just started talking to me, like giving me a bad vibe, like blah, 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 blah. So I let her know that. Like he's making me feel uncomfortable. So I told her that so she knew what was going on. And so we're sitting there, you know, I'm getting to know all these people around me, but you could tell that this guy is just focused on me. Like, we'll call him David. David is just focused on me. He wants all of my attention, and I hate when men do that. I think it's just so rude and inconsiderate. Like, it's like as if me and him were on a date together or something, and he's upset that I'm not paying any attention to him, kind of thing. Because I'm talking to the guy next to me, I'm talking to other people over here, I'm talking to the girl, the other lady that's right over here that I met earlier in the day who was really nice, and I'm asking them about I was like, oh, is that red sauce? Is it really spicy? Because they were saying it was spicy and I was talking to them. And he's like, oh, Amy, I got the red sauce. I didn't think it was too bad, like trying to get my attention again. So I'm sitting there, I'm just hanging out at the lunch. I'm like, I'm gonna hang out here as long as I need to until this guy leaves, because I do not want him walking me back to my car. So eventually he got real tired of it. You could tell he was getting frustrated. He got real tired of it. You know, me like just chilling there, not really paying him much mind, talking to people, you know, like you're supposed to. And he's like, hey, Amy, I'm gonna head out. Can I talk to you outside real quick? Like outside the door. And I was like, oh, right now? Or like what, like acting stupid, playing dumb. And he's like, yeah. I was like, oh, okay. So I go out there and talk to him. He's like, Amy, God's telling me to help you. Do you need money? I can help you start a business. But you have to ask for help, Amy, or else I can't help you. And me, you know, I was like, wow, that is so nice of you, David. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. Amy, how can I get in touch with you? Can I get your number? I was like, David, I can give you my email. I'm sick and tired of people like asking for your number. Like, I feel like it's such an invasion of privacy. You know what I mean? Because once they have your number, like, I don't know, I feel like that's a little just too uncomfortable for me. This is looking really good. So I give him my email and of course he emails me and he's talking about, you know, he wants to take me out to lunch, blah, 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 blah. And remember before, you know, on the same day that I met him, he told me like this great place that he wanted to take me. So after talking to my friends and my worldly friends, they're like, man, go out with him. Maybe he'll pay your tuition. Maybe he'll pay off your debt. And me getting caught up in worldly things and like thinking, oh, this must be from God. Like God really is out here just, you know, because I've been praying to God to help me like go back to college at this time and pay off my debt. So I was like, this must be from God. No, I think it was like a temptation from the devil. Because if you guys know, I used to be a sugar baby. So I'm like, okay. I was like, all right, you know, I'm going to see what this guy's up to, see what he's really talking about. I know how to play the game, so let's go. But of course, I'm going to act like I don't know anything. I'm going to act like this Christian girl who's never been in the world and doesn't know a thing. So we go back and forth trying to make plans. So I told him, I was like, yeah, sure. I would love to go out to lunch with you. I'm free Thursday at 3 p.m. And he's like, okay, great. So Thursday morning rolls around. He emails me. It's like 9 a.m. He's like, hey, can you meet in 30 minutes for coffee? Sir, we have it already planned out for 3 p.m. I don't know why he's asking me that. And I was really frustrated. I was like, hon, I told you I was available at 3 p.m. See, it's like they don't respect you and your time. You know, they always want to do everything on their time. I was like, hon, I told you I was available at 3. We already had plans for 3. I was like, I can still meet you then. Mind you, I don't even drink coffee. Like, it's like you don't even ask. And I'm not going to drive 20 minutes, 30 minutes to go have a cup of coffee. Like, I'm good. Or to go get what? A shake or something? Like, no, I'm good. So eventually he finally picks a spot after going back and forth, and it's a barbecue spot. I'm pescatarian. I don't eat meat. But he doesn't know that because he doesn't ask what I like to eat. He doesn't even bother to care. He claims he wants to get to know me, all this and that, and take me out, but doesn't even care to ask what I like or don't like. It's very inconsiderate, you guys. You got to really read between the lines with these things. These people really don't care. They're just all about their own interests. And I was tired of going back and forth trying to make plans. So I said, yeah, sure, that's fine. Because I figure I can get sides or something like that. So I go there. I drive down there like 30 minutes, 20 minutes, because I don't want him knowing where I live. So I drive down 20 minutes to Palo Alto. And I meet him there. And he was running late. So we get inside. Like I said, I ordered just like a few sides. He's like, well, if you're having sides, I'll have sides too. I was like, okay. And so we get some sides, we sit there and eat, and I'm waiting for him to like talk or say something. Like, why is he inviting me to lunch? Is he going to offer to give me some money again? Like, what's going on here? Like, I'm just kind of letting him take the lead, you know? We're there a total of 20 minutes. Part of it, I went to the bathroom, mind you, to message my friends and check in and let them know everything was going fine. Half the time that we're sitting on the table, this man is sitting there texting on his phone. I'm not even kidding you. I'm telling you, this guy's like my dad's age, like 60 something years old. No manners. Like, you're asking to take me out to eat, but you're sitting there on your phone. He's like, have I told you about my friend so-and-so and blah, blah, blah. Doesn't really ask any questions about me. He's talking about himself the whole entire time, which is fine because I don't want to tell him about me anyways. You know, I don't need him to know anything personal, like, really, other than, you know, I'm going to school and need some money and want a new job. Like, that's all that this man really needs to know. I go to the bathroom, I come back, and all of a sudden, abruptly, I guess whoever he's been texting is like ready to see him or something. He goes, all right, well, today was great. I don't want to keep you because I had told him ahead of time that I couldn't be there too long, you know, because I had a Bible study to get to, which was a total lie. I just didn't want to get stuck there all day, you know, because I didn't know what was going to happen. He said, well, I don't want to keep you too long, you know, we better get going. I was like, oh, okay. Like, I didn't even like finish my sides. Like, I shoved a few French fries in my mouth and like slurped down my water and just headed out there. Long story short, never knew why he invited me there. It was a really weird situation. But I should have known better, and I should have not been living in the world, trying to go back to my old sugar baby ways. I really think it was like a complete temptation or test or whatever to see what I would do in that situation. I should have just shut it down. It just bothers me that I'm here at church and people are really using God to try to like, not manipulate you, but try to like talk to you, I guess you could say, or like take you out on dates. He'd email me a couple times later on. I did not reply. I actually stopped going to that church because that made me really, really uncomfortable. Like, it's so creepy. Like, when we were in like the new lunch, the newcomer lunch, he's talking to people. Sorry guys, that's gross. I'm the only one eating this, by the way, so don't worry. But we're in the newcomer lunch, he's talking to people. Yeah, I was so privileged to get to stand next to Amy and see her worshiping, to watch her worship God. Like, you know, I'm like, that is such an intimate thing, me and God, like me worshiping God, and you're sitting there just watching me and saying that to other people. Like, that is so weird. Like, people really must have thought like we were together or something like that. Like, that is just such an odd thing to say. So the reason I bring up this story and the reason it was on my mind, I told you guys that I've been serving. And I told you guys that, oh, I'm so glad I've been serving because this new guy started coming and I saw him the other day and I was sitting in the front row and I don't normally go out of my way to say hello to people, you know, but God was putting on my heart to say hi to him and I'm so happy I got to talk to him. So, same guy, he comes every Wednesday and I saw him this Wednesday we just had this week and he was talking to me, chatting with me, you know, I'm greeting everyone. He's just standing there with me for like 15 minutes. Enjoying the conversation, as he called it. Like, I kept trying to get him to kind of go in there. I was like, honey, you don't want to miss out on the music. You don't want to miss out on the worship. He's like, I'm enjoying talking to you. Which is fine, because I thought this guy was really cool. Mind you, this is another man who's my dad's age. You know, I'm talking like close to 60 years old. He starts talking about, you know, like I met his son the other day. He's like, you know, yeah, I really want the third one. I want to go for the D1 baby this time. I was like, oh, definitely. I was like, why stop at D1? I was like, go all the way to NBA, you know, talking like that. And I didn't realize, because it was kind of hard to hear him because he mumbles a little bit. He made a statement where he's like, yeah, I could have another one, you know. And he was alluding to having a child with someone like me. I'm 6 feet tall, so that's where this D1 thing is coming in. And finally, I was kind of like getting to what he's saying because he goes, can I get your phone number, Amy? I was like, why? He's like, so we can keep chatting. I was like, I don't really like talking on the phone. I was like, he's like, well, then what do you like to do? I was like, I like to talk in person. Trying to basically like put him down nicely because I don't know what else to say, you know? I thought he was just kind of maybe genuinely being nice until later on he's like, I would love to take you out to coffee sometime. Finally all came to me. Like, it all came together. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like really uncomfortable. He's like, I want you to come in and pray with me. And I was like, yeah, of course. And by that time I was just like, oh man, what did we get ourselves into? Like, literally, like, this is a man of God and it's talking about, oh, just pray on it, you know, pray on it. Like, basically me going out to coffee with him because I told him I'm not really hanging out with people right now. I'm kind of keeping to myself with God and stuff. He's like, well, ask God, you know, he knows I'm a pretty good guy. You guys, like, I didn't I don't know why the whole baby thing didn't like hit me, but once it hit me, and then the phone number, then asking me out to coffee, I'm like, this is just so inappropriate and made me so uncomfortable. So I go in for like the prayer night after I'm done greeting, you know, I stand there for about 15 minutes after he left, and like a few minutes later I was finally able to go in, and I promised him that I would go sit over there and pray with him. I don't know how I get myself into these things. I need to set more boundaries, obviously, but it's hard, you know. It's hard. You just kind of feel uncomfortable. You don't want to be rude because, like I said, I really thought I liked this guy. I didn't see him the last few weeks talking. I thought he was a super nice guy, not some guy who was trying to like ask me out, you know, some guy who's my father's age asking me out, which is so inappropriate. So I'm in the back of the room. I'm trying to focus on the prayer, trying to talk to God. I am just so distracted. I cannot focus on anything. Just like, because I told him I would go and pray with him before the night is over. And I'm just like, oh, like I just could not focus. And I was so frustrated that scenario hindered on my night and my time with God. Like I was just really frustrated. So about 10 minutes left of prayer night, I went up there to go pray with him, you know, to keep my word. I went up to his seat. I brought, like, I had extra water, so I gave him a water. Girl, I know, doing too much, being too nice, but I don't know what's going on with me. So I go up there and I was like, hey, and I give him the water. You know, they're playing music and praying, so I don't want to talk too loud. And he's like, stands up, grabs my hand, because everyone's standing. He was sitting because he's older, you know. Grabs my hand, like is holding hands with me, and does like a prayer. I can't hear it, but he does a prayer. And then when he's done, thankfully he lets go of my hand. But the whole time he's doing his prayer, I could not concentrate on anything. I was like, God, please, 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 God, let him let go of my hand soon. Let me feel more comfortable. Please get me out of this situation. So after we're done, I said, amen. I pat him on the back. Wait the next 10 minutes, you know, just close my eyes, just keep talking to God, get me out of this uncomfortable situation. And once it was over, I did not want him to keep talking to me anymore. So I was like, I got to get going. It was so good to see you. Have a good night. And I got the heck out of there. So now this sucks because this was my place where I was starting to feel comfortable. You know, I'm serving. Now I don't want to serve. You know, I don't want to see him. I don't know what to do. I don't want to be uncomfortable. I don't want to have to talk to him and him being lustful over me. I'm so over that crap, you guys. I'm so over men lusting over me. Want him alluding to having children with me. Are you kidding me? I want a husband. I don't want some man my father's age lusting after me. Like, are you joking? So now I don't know what to do because serving was my thing, but now I'm just going to have to avoid him, which sucks because I can't fully be comfortable in church now. And I like to sit up in the front row, and that's where he sits. So I'm just like, why did this have to happen? I'm so tired of people making things uncomfortable by their actions and just ruining a good thing. And my 2 days that I was getting out of the house and socializing now that I'm unemployed still is when I was going and serving in church. So it's like, now what am I going to do to socialize? Like, I'm really frustrated about it. And I'm just so like uncomfortable. I'm praying on it, and we'll see what God has to say. Anyways, you guys, so we're done making the salad. Like I mentioned, I'm probably going to be the only one eating this. I don't have anybody to share with. And I don't think anyone I know would actually want anything like this. It looks really good. It smells really good. I'm going to let it chill for a little bit. I'm going to come back and I'm going to add some maraschinos. If I can kind of show you, just take a little maraschino cherry. I already drained it. And then you're going to serve it. You can add pecans or walnuts or something like that to it, but I don't really like nuts on top of this, so I'm not going to be adding any of those to it. Plus, I didn't want to spend too much extra money because I'm trying to save money right now. All right, guys, I got my own little bowl of it. I want to try it. Probably tastes like pure sugar. I just chilled it for like the last hour or so, so let's try it together. Some people add a bit of like a whipped cream on top. I'm like, yo, we already got Cool Whip in here. I think that's enough. Let's get a bite with the pineapple and a few marshmallows. I would recommend using smaller pieces of pineapple. Oh, let's see. I like it. Chicken salad. If you know, you know. It's just very sweet. Anyways, you guys, that's all today. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys have some great plans for Easter. Yeah. I love you guys. Talk soon.